Hey guys, I'm Holly, and in this video I'm going to show you how I turned this into this. So keep watching. So I picked up this chest of drawers for free from someone who was throwing it out. As you can see, there is a fair bit of damage to it, so the top has warped and there are pretty deep cracks in it, and there are splits on either end of the piece as well, so all of that's going to need to be repaired. So the first thing I did was take out all of the drawers and give everything a really good wipe down. I then started sanding. I went in with 120 grit sandpaper, but I pretty quickly changed that for an 80 grit because on this piece there were actually two pretty thick layers of paint that I had to get through before I could start to see any of the wood. I do like to start though with a slightly finer or gentler sandpaper than I think I'm going to need, just because if you go in with a rough sandpaper, particularly on an electric sander, it's really easy to damage the smaller details on a piece. So the next thing I did were the major repairs to the body of the piece. I'd partially sanded it, and I then used wood glue and some weights to fix the big cracks on the top and G-clamps so that I could wood glue the cracks on the sides. So it took a lot of scrubbing and paint stripper to get the paint off these little handles, but it was so worth it, as you could see the cute little design coming through. Normally I would always take the handles off a piece before stripping them or cleaning them or anything like that, and actually before sanding as well. But unfortunately, these little handles weren't fixed all the way through the front of the drawer, and the tiny little screws were so old and delicate that I just felt like if I tried too hard to get them off, I'd end up breaking them and have no way of fixing them. So I decided to persevere with cleaning, stripping, and sanding while the handles were still on the piece. Normally not what I would recommend. And that's the final result. I'm pretty pleased with how this one turned out. It was relatively low cost in terms of materials, but very high in man hours. Yeah, no, I'm pleased with the overall design and finish on it. And I hope you've enjoyed seeing the process and that it'll be helpful for any of you, doing your own furniture flips at home. And also, if anybody comes across the same problem I did with handles that you can't remove, yeah, it's a slow process, but if it's nice hardware, then it's definitely worth the effort.